Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to laminate my eyebrows for the first time. So I got this little kit from my local supplier. This is the Reflecticil Brow Lamination Kit. This is a service that I've been interested in having done and also offering in the salon. So I decided to pick up the kit and use myself as a guinea pig. So here we are. I thought I would take you guys along with me as I do that. So I have no makeup on, as you can see. I have watched some tutorials from the brand and I am familiar with the brand, as this is the brand of brow tinting that I do in the salon. So let's dive straight in. So the first step is to cleanse the brows with a micellar water. Of course, they have their own in the line, but I'm just using my handy dandy Garnier micellar water. And so I'm just going to make sure that there's no like oils or like skincare in my brows. Of course, I've had my skincare on today, sunscreen and all of the things. So just making sure that that is nice and clean. I am gonna put a headband on and possibly a little hair clip just to keep my hair out of the way. Oh yes, what a great look for me. Okay, so we've cleansed with the micellar water. Next step is to brush the brows into the position that you want them to be in. So the brow lamination sort of does a couple of things. This is basically like a perm for your eyebrows. So it's supposed to make your brows look fuller and more voluminous, and it's also supposed to kind of hold them in a certain shape. So these are my eyebrows. Don't mind my skin. I'm having some breakouts. I'm not really sure what's going on, but this is my good brow. I'm looking into the screen. Sorry, I'm not making eye contact. So this is my good eyebrow. I really like the way that this one goes. This one has a tendency to want to do this. So I'm really hoping that this is going to sort of hold my brow in that brushed up shape. That's what I like for me personally. Some people might want more of a brush across shape. It's going to depend on the person. It's going to depend on the brows. But for me personally, when I'm doing my eyebrows in the morning, I'm generally brushing them up and hoping that they stay, and they never do. So I'm hoping this is going to change my life. So we've brushed the brows into place. And the other thing is, they had applied in the tutorial, they have like a protection cream that they use from the brand. I have always used Vaseline whenever I'm tinting the brows. I always apply Vaseline around the eyebrows to protect the skin around the brows. So I'm just going to do that. It's going to create the same type of barrier just to protect the skin from any of the chemicals. So I'm just picking up some Vaseline on a Q-tip, blobbing some on my hand there. So just applying that underneath of my eyebrow. I'm going to apply some also up above the brow. I do have fairly sensitive skin, so I'm not, like, if my skin gets a bit red, I'm not too concerned about that. And then I'm just going to do the same over here with this one. And I'm trying not to get any of the Vaseline like on the eyebrow hairs, because again, it's going to create a barrier. Okay, so now that we've got that on, now I'm going to open up my little kit here. Okay, and then we've got a couple of packages of the Lash and Brow Perm and Neutralizer here, and then we've got a couple of little Dappen dishes. I usually use this glass one, but we'll use these because they come in the kit. I'm also going to tint my brows at the end because why not, right? So inside you've got these tiny little tubes. So this is the perm itself, and this is the neutralizer, and 2 of each comes in the kit. So they said to apply a pea-size amount of the perm to each brow. So I'm going to do one brow at a time. So I've got some here in that little dish. And they said to like mix it or sort of emulsify it because it's been like sitting in a tube, you know. And then it says, oh, it smells like a perm. I don't know why that surprised me. And then they said to apply the pea-size amount to the brow in the direction of the hair growth. And they said to try not to get it obviously on the skin. That's why we've created that barrier. There is a bit of a strange color to this. It's pink. Oh my God, that's really freaking me out. That's scaring me. Yeah. Okay. Trust the process, Jamie. Trust the process. So just applying that generously to the hairs. So that's what it's looking like. And I am kind of applying it in that shape that I want the brows to be. And now I'm going to go in and do the same on the other side. I'm nervous that it's that color. It's really freaking me out. Okay. Same thing over here. I didn't notice in the tutorials that I watched that it had any sort of color to it. So I would have liked to have seen that so that I could have been mentally prepared. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. This is precision stuff, so I don't want to just trust the viewfinder. I'm looking in a proper mirror over here. Okay, so this is what we're looking like. I've definitely got like more on my skin than what I would have liked, but it is what it is. Just gonna wipe my little brush off here on the pad that I used, the micellar water. So then they said to leave it on for 5 to 8 minutes. She suggested, when I say she, I'm referring to the girl in the tutorial that I watched from the brand. She said 8 minutes if you're leaving them sort of uncovered. She had applied some tinfoil over top and pressed them down for 5 minutes. I'm gonna opt to just leave it for the 8 and not cover them with tinfoil because I'm concerned, because my skin is a little bit more sensitive, that if I add heat, which is what tinfoil will do, it'll sort of hold in the heat. I'm concerned that that might cause some irritation in my personal skin. So I'm gonna just do it this way, leave it on for 8 minutes. What time is it? And then we'll come back into the next steps. Okay, we're back. It's been 8 minutes and this is what we're looking like. I do feel like the hairs look a little like thicker. Really freaked out by that pink color. Also a little bit itchy just right there where I got it on my skin, but that's definitely like a user error situation. So the next step is to wipe off this product with like a dry Q-tip or a dry like cotton round or something like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Just taking off that excess product. I have a little piece of paper towel here, so I'm gonna do this. Now that I've got the bulk of the product off, I didn't want to like swipe that all over my face. I'm happy to report that my eyebrows are not pink. Like the hairs have not turned pink. I was a little concerned. Okay, so this is what we're looking like so far. So now we're gonna take our neutralizer product and we're gonna use, again, a pea size per brow. And again, we're gonna apply that same thing in the direction of the hair growth. So this is going to neutralize the perm solution and further kind of hold those hairs in place like that. I know that looks crazy right now, but I'd rather them be standing up too much and brush them down with a brow gel than not get the effect that I'm looking for. Keep in mind, you guys, this is me teaching myself how to do a service, basically. At one time, you know, you would buy a kit and there would be a course included with the purchase of that kit, but a lot has changed in this industry since 2020, and a lot of our education is online now. So, you know, with that comes a little bit more experimenting on your own face than maybe we would have done years ago. If you're new here, I am an esthetician. I've been an esthetician for 17 years. I own my own salon. I am a single operator. That's a little bit about me. Okay, so we've got that in there. That looks so heavy on that one eyebrow. You can tell I've used the same amount of product, but you can tell I have a lot less hairs on that one. Okay, and so the neutralizer is gonna stay on for 5 minutes. While we wait for that to set, since I am going to tint my brows, I'm gonna mix up my tint while we wait. I do a fair bit of brow tinting in the salon, so I thought this might be sort of a nice add-on service to that one that I already do. Most people, I use the natural brown. For myself, I'm gonna mix the light brown and the natural brown together. I find the natural brown to be a little bit too dark for me, and the light brown is basically the color my eyebrows already are. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of both. So I'm just using my little glass dish. So there's the tint there, and I've got my developer lotion here. This is like a 3% peroxide, and you basically just mix it like equal parts. And I may as well use the brush that they provided. I do have a brush that I normally use for tinting. There's my color all mixed up there. A little teeny tiny dish of color. I made a nice coffee while I waited. This is what we're looking like. I'm really excited. I'm hopeful this is going to change my life. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. I've got a little piece of wet paper towel here. Really professional setup. Maybe I could have done this at the salon, but I'm gonna just wipe that off. We've got some laminated brows. So this is what they look like post lamination. I do think it's hard to, it's hard to tell, really. I have so few hairs. But I do think this one looks more tamed. This one looks the way that I always want it to look. So, I guess it was already my good brow, but this one looks a lot better to me in terms of just like holding a shape. So now I'm going to go in and tint them. I thought I got some tint on my arm because it's a double-sided brush. Now, normally when I tint brows, I usually leave the tint on for like 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how stubborn the hairs are. Like if somebody has a lot of gray in their brows, I might leave it on a little bit longer. I'm just applying that Vaseline again so I don't tint my face because I am sloppy. So some of my clients that have more like gray resistant hairs, I might leave the tint on a little bit longer. Most people I leave it on for about 5 minutes. But in the tutorial, they said because we've done a chemical service already, the brows are going to be more porous. So they said only to leave the tint on for 2 minutes. So I kind of love that in terms of just like an easy, fast service at the salon, like to add the tinting to the brow lamination. It's going to be so fast. You just literally plop it on and then basically rinse it off. Okay, now that I've re-protected my skin, I've got my tint here. And I'm just going to apply that into the brows. Don't do what I just did and get a bunch on your face. It's not the move. The product will tint your skin where you've applied it. So when I'm doing this on clients, I try to be as careful as I can because nobody wants to leave looking like Bert and Ernie because I put tint all over their face. So what I just did, don't do that. So I'm just taking a clean Q-tip and I'm just gonna grab that blob. And I just kind of grabbed a little bit of that excess that was there. Same thing on the other side. I have way too much tint here. Way more than I needed for my little eyebrows. I'm making sure I've got really good coverage on my tails because that's where my hair is really blonde and that's where the tint is going to make the biggest difference. All right, so we're going to leave that on for 2 minutes and I'm going to clean up a little bit of my mess here while we wait. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. We're looking nice and Bert and Ernie. This is pretty normal. So we're just going to remove that tint. I've just got I've just got a wet piece of paper towel here. Oh my gosh, looks so good. Looks good. Same thing over here. Okay, so just gonna give those a little brush. Now they said at the end of the service to put some clear brow gel through the brows. I'm not gonna do that today because I don't have any makeup on. I'm kind of doing a no makeup moment for myself today. But this is my final brows. Oh, there's like a stray hair right there on my eyelid. What do you guys think? This one looks so much better to me. This one looks the same, but this is my good brow. So we really just wanted the other one to look like this. And I think it does. I think it definitely looks fuller as well. Stop looking at my acne. I'm really, really happy with the way that that turned out. I think mixing those two tints together always gives me like that perfect shade. It's not too dark, but definitely darker than what I have naturally. I'm really excited to see tomorrow when I get ready for work how it goes in terms of like filling in my brows and putting in my brow gel and all of that sort of stuff, if I notice a difference. And I'm really excited to see if this one continues to fall down as it normally does. So hi guys, so it is a few days after I laminated my brows and I just wanted to check in and sort of let you know how they're looking, how I'm liking them. I love them. I love them so much. So normally I fill in my brows with like a pencil, and then I do my brow gel, and then I do my brow pen, and I do all these things. So since I did this, I really have only had to go in with the brow gel and then add a few little hairs where I'm missing hairs. I'm really liking them. I find like this one in particular is holding the shape really well. This is my good eyebrow, so I wasn't worried about this one, but this one is holding the shape really well. I do think the brow hairs themselves look thicker and fuller, thus I'm not having to fill them in quite so much. All in all, I'm really pleased with it. I will probably do it one more time, either on myself or someone else before I start offering it in salon, but really happy with how things turned out. And I just wanted to sort of check in after a few days of like putting makeup on and, you know, just walking around the world with these brows. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching me sort of learn this process and doing it together. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. If I don't have the answers, I'm happy to try and find them for you. Always fun to like learn something new and hopefully have a new service to offer in the salon. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye.